Oh man, I'm out of the bedroom. It's a hot day. It's hot, 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 hot. I'm not even wearing pants. Just to show you guys real quick. Boop, there it is. Hey, what is going on, you fucking lazy fuck? I saw you kick that ice under the refrigerator, you fucking... Now, I said I wasn't going to do a video on this, and I'm not. I'm actually not doing it about this person or the event that really happened. But through this person's death, an interesting conversation started to pop up between me and a lot of other people. And not just with me, I'm talking about over Twitter, I'm talking about over the Instagrams, I'm talking about over BookFights. And as you all know, if you are keeping up with this world, XXXTENTACIon. And just to put it out there, I'm not fronting and saying like I knew how to say the man's name prior to this. I had to look that shit up. XXXTENTACIon. Like, I'm not even making a joke. I legit thought he was like Spanish or something. XXXTENTACIon. And then one of my friends were like, well, you dumbass, why don't you just say his fucking legal name instead then? What the fuck? The guy's a fucking evil genius. He's like, I don't want anybody to know how to say my name before I passed away. And as I mentioned before, I'm only doing videos that interest me, and things that usually interest me have to do with like human perspective. Now, the argument that started popping up between everybody was, do you respect the man or do you respect the artist? So the controversy behind his personal life, and I don't need to tell you guys this because you guys probably already know, is the fact that in his personal life, apparently he's a piece of shit. People brought up the fact that he's been accused, or it's been confirmed, that he beat the shit out of his pregnant wife or girlfriend so bad that both of her eyes shut. He also openly admitted to beating up a prison faggot, as he would call it. And with that information, people were saying, good riddance. I'm glad he died. Get him off the fucking face of the earth. He's a piece of shit anyways. Who the fuck cares? Then there's the other side saying like, yo, get off his fucking back. I loved his music. I loved his fucking art. Let me mourn the death of this fucking dude. Who cares if he did that type of shit? He was young, people make mistakes, etc, etc, etc. And just from these two opposing sides, people are fucking going at it, saying shit like,
he beat the shit out of a fucking pregnant woman. Why the fuck do you care so much?
He's still a young man. I don't understand why everybody's giving him heat. Everybody makes mistakes. And a lot of you guys wanted me to cover his death, and I'm not gonna do that, but I am gonna talk about this because this topic and this controversy where people are going at it is very interesting to me. I think there are two sides to this, in the sense that two people or two sets of people who are arguing aren't really looking at each other's side, and there's really no empathy. So let's talk about the side where people are saying, good riddance, I'm glad he's off the face of the earth, fuck all of his face tattoos, you fucking etch-a-sketch face motherfucker. And I guess for people who are on this side saying that I'm glad he's off the face of the earth and fuck him or whatever, you're allowed to feel that way. You are 100% allowed to feel that way. Nobody can tell you how you should feel about somebody else's death. That's period, end of story. However, I do want people to think about it through this lens as well. He was 20 years old, and I'm not saying that any of the stuff that he did was excusable. I'm saying, where the fuck were you when you were 20? Now, when I was 20 years old, I was not a great person. I did not make smart choices, and I'm pretty sure there are more than a handful of people that would have looked at me and said, you know what, dude, I'm glad that fat, slant-eyed, big-tittied motherfucker, well, I'm hurting my feelings, is dead. I'm glad he died if I passed away at that point, and I'm pretty sure that I was, I wouldn't have really been missed. However, through time, life experiences, and a lot of things that I did, I learned to grow the fuck up, and I learned to change as a human being, and I became a better person. Not only through this space, but having conversations with people and being able to experience life as a fucking adult past the age of 20. A life was lost, and a young life at that, and a life that wasn't allowed to change, wasn't allowed to grow as a person. And maybe people see it as he's 20 years old, he's an adult, and I 100% agree with you. But some of the biggest moments where I grew was past that age, past the age of 20, 21, and all the way until I was like 26 or 27. So what does that say? And there's the juxtaposing side to that, where people are saying like, you know what? He was doing charity work, he was doing all this other stuff, and he was a good person because he did X amount of things. Well, here's the thing, people. Just because you do nice things after the fact you do something terrible doesn't erase the fact that you still did something fucking terrible. It doesn't take away the scars that that woman has, not from in the physical sense, but the fact that he beat the shit out of that girl, had her eyes swollen shut while she was fucking pregnant and could have killed that kid. It doesn't erase that. And when you say stuff in his defense talking about the other nice things that he possibly did or was going to do, it doesn't negate everything that he's done in the past, especially when there's no apology for it. There's no evidence of growth that he would do it again. There's no outright apology for beating up a prison faggot, as he would call it. And to your credit, if you are saying that, you know what, let's separate the artist from the person. Let me just enjoy their art. 100%, I fucking agree with you. It's okay to feel sad about somebody who affected your life in a positive way, despite what he did in his personal life. You know, you took away what you did from that person's art. And I'm gonna say it again, if you are saying that you are judging the man by just his art, then you should stick to that side. But when you start defending somebody's actions, his past, and all the bad things that he's done, and saying that it's okay because of all the new things he's done, that's where it gets a little fucking tricky. Let me give you an example. I mentioned this before on Just Kidding News, and maybe even on this channel. Like, Bill Cosby was a huge influence in my life. Not the touchy shit. I'm talking about the Cosby Show. You know, Heathcliff Huxtable. People aren't going to take away the positive effect that the Cosby Show had on me. It showed me diversity. It showed me humor. It showed me a real side to families that a lot of sitcoms were not doing. It was just a lot of this like, Dad, I don't think Jimmy wants to go out with me. No, it was some real shit. The very first Cosby episode that I saw, and I think it was the first episode of the first season, Theo, his son, was sitting at his bed, right? And he was talking about like how bad he was doing in school and how much he was fucking up. And he just looks at his dad, and his dad was getting on his case about studying. And he goes, Dad, why can't you just love me for who I am? And then Bill Cosby, or Heathcliff Huxtable, comes up and puts his hand on his shoulder and says, "That's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life." That was a real moment in TV that I don't think a lot of people saw, and man, it definitely influenced, you know, the comedian and the person that I am today. However, you don't see me saying shit like, "Oh, Bill Cosby, no, he didn't rape those 82 women. It was a couple of rapes, a little touchy here, a little honk there." I mean, he's done so many good things.
No, he's a fucking rapist. He should go to fucking jail.
A lot of people are saying like, what about his legacy? His legacy? And I bring up that example of Mr. Cosby, Mr. Jello Pudding Pop, is because I truly believe that is a version of respecting the art, but still judging the human being. If anything, I don't know why this bothered me so much, and I don't know if people are gonna bring this up, but you know, the picture that I saw of this guy that was slain and shot in his car was like a Snapchat, or it was like a Snapchat photo or some sorts. And the only thing I think about that is like, fuck, man. You see this fucking human being dead in a car, and the first thing that you do, I mean, you could have opened up your video camera to record what was going on as evidence or proof, or just to show what was going on in the crime scene, but instead you opened up Snapchat, a social platform, so you could show people that, hey, I caught XXXTENTACION dead in his car. Fuck, man. The world that we fucking live in is so weird, and how we prioritize things in life is fucked up. And to see people whip out a social app to post the death of somebody for social currency instead of maybe calling for help, trying to help the human being, makes me think that you're a sick fucking person. And society is kind of sick in general. But that's a whole nother topic to get into, and I really do want to leave it up there for conversation, is that, what do you guys think? I don't know, man. Like, I feel like sometimes like we've evolved as people, but then I see something like this, something even this small, like on Twitter, talking about the death of a young rapper, and I still see people in society without empathy, without love, without care for each other. And it makes me sad that people can celebrate the death of somebody that was so young. I don't know. No matter how much somebody's art has affected me personally, I can never stand there and defend somebody who did something like that. Or at the same time, I can never celebrate somebody's death who died so young, who was never given a chance to evolve or become better. And that's just me. I don't know. What do you guys think?